Hi everybody, this is Jake again. I hope everybody's doing well. The topic of today's video is going to be how I got the role in a different world. I grew up watching A Different World. In college it was a really popular African American show, a spin-off of The Cosby Show. Very popular. Had a lot of famous guest stars. And a great cast, great directors. So I'm hoping by sharing my experience quickly it will help you in your own quest and auditions, hopefully. It was 1991 and I had been on the show LA Law, and I think that was it. I've been on there for several episodes, and then I got the call to audition and I went in, and it was the episode was about three white guys that meet Ron and Dwayne, the two leads on A Different World, at a football game, and they get into a fight about a bet on the football game. We bet for our team, they bet for their team, and normal macho stuff, but it escalates into a physical fight, and we get arrested and thrown into campus jail, where a nice police captain, sergeant, constable leaves us in there until we work it out amongst ourselves. And it's told in three different ways, like from the white guy's perception, from Ron and Dwayne's perception, and then the truth. And they're very different. So we work it out. I play the nice guy, which is sort of what I am in life, who realizes that racism is wrong and was something that he was taught by his family, and he apologizes for it sincerely. And Ron and Dwayne aren't hearing it, so to speak. I think they hear it at some level, but they don't hear it loudly. At any rate, at the end of the episode, when we're released from campus jail, we walk out to the car where it's Ron's car, where the site of the fight was. And during the fight, we had started to spray the word Nigger on their car hood, and we had, I think it wasn't me, but it was one of my friends who N-I-G, and then the whole fight broke out, and then we went to jail. So anyway, when we got out of jail at the end of the day, we went out to the parking lot, and someone had finished the word. So that's how the episode ended. Anyway, how I got the role was I showed up. I read at a small casting office in Studio City, and Dean Cain was there. He's kind of a well-known TV actor, and he was kind of in my group, so to speak, and I could tell, like, the guy was just radiating charisma, and I could just tell he was going to get something, and good-looking guy too, but just radiating just a great energy. So, I read it, and then I got called back, and then I went to the studio lot, and there was a lot of people out there reading for it, all the different roles. And I ran into this guy, Wallace Langham, who was reading for another role, and I had loved him in the movie The Chocolate War. So I was talking to him and telling him, wow, he was one of the best performances I'd seen. He thanked me, and anyway, I went in and read, and the role was my apologizing, for my racism and what I've been taught, and it's really who I am personally, who Jake is. So the room was packed full of producers and writers, and I was just it. That role is who I am. So I was shaking with emotion, and really meant what I said, and I left the room, and I knew there's no way. I did the best that I possibly could. There's no way that, because it's like the world was tilting in a certain way, and that's who I am anyway. Not to be grandiose, but. So anyway, I was sitting there for a minute outside the casting office, and the casting associate like came out of the room, and she's like, Jake, you know, hold on a second, I think they may want to bring you back in the room again. And I couldn't believe it. I was like so spent, and just, I had just hit it. It had just come out of me, and now they wanted me to come back in. So I just took a deep breath, put my, you know, head between my legs, was like, all right. And I was just waiting to be called back in again, and I didn't know how I would do. And then she came out and she said, no, that's okay. They decided they didn't need to see you. And I was like, oh. So then I got the call that I got it, and it was amazing. It was a really special episode and experience. So I guess the takeaway is for actors out there, if I were to convey something, is you are something special based on your own experiences and soul. And sometimes the stars will align, especially if you don't give up. Like they talk about in that book, The Alchemist. If you try really hard for something and it's a part of you, you eventually get it. So, you know, for me, I grew up in New Orleans. There's a lot of racism, more racism than in Boston, where I was before that. And, you know, that's just who I was. I was someone who had a lot of compassion and was not racist. And so when I did that part, it just kind of came out of me. So I guess what I'm saying is you're unique. Don't hide it. Express it. And I think that's the fastest way to a strong career in here, is not trying to please people, but to be who you are and be strong in that. So I hope that was helpful. Just kind of reactivating the channel. So if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great, or like it, or leave something in the comments, and I will try to respond. It may take me a while, and I may respond in a brief way, but I will respond. Thank you for taking a look at this.